Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Wow, it's already the middle of July when I'm filming this. I still feel like we're in March. I actually don't know how we're already past the middle of the year. Mind-blowing to me, this year is like truly going way too quick. Anyone else? Just me? Anyway, what that means is it's time for my mid-year favorites and my mid-year regrets. So this is all of the makeup that I've purchased myself and tried for the year of 2024 so far. Not every product, but all of the products that are in this video are specifically products that I've tried in 2024. And I'm going to tell you my top picks and some of my regrets. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. Just quickly, everything that I mentioned today will be linked in the description box down below for you guys, unless they are a regret, because I don't recommend them. If I can't fit everything in the description box, it will say like, see all of my picks here. And then it will take you to my shop, my page, and then you can see literally every product that I've mentioned. It just depends on how many characters I can fit in the description box. None of this is sponsored, by the way. There's products that I've gotten in PR. I'll either put it on the screen if it's PR, if I've forgotten to verbally say it, just so you know. This is all my own opinion, like no brand literally really cares. You know, I can say whatever I want, if that makes sense. I'm too little. I can just do what I want. This is all just my own opinion. I may love something that you hate. I may hate something that you love. That's totally okay. We all have different preferences, opinions, and like products are going to react differently to our skin. So it's honestly just a bit of a makeup fun. This is a very judgment-free zone around here. And also, yes, this is a lot of makeup. Yes, this is a lot of makeup for one person to have purchased this year. I use my YouTube budget to purchase makeup, so please don't feel like you need to keep up. I'm not bragging or anything like that. I literally love to bring in new products and test all of the formulas so that I can share my 2 little cents with you guys, and hopefully it's helpful. So that's the housekeeping. I just quickly clipped the hair out of the way. It was driving me nuts, and this is serious business. I'm being facetious. All right, we're gonna start with primer. I'm gonna put timestamps of like primer, foundation, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. It is gonna be a long video. Get a snack. Get a snack. All right, primers. My number one, I actually think this is one of the top products, like the top favorite products I've tried so far this year. I love this. It has made such a difference, in my opinion, to my makeup game, and it is the Rephr Under Eye Balm. So Rephr recently released this with their concealer. It's just a clear under eye balm. I've used it in so many videos. I've raved about it in so many videos. I cannot stress enough how much this has made a difference to my under eyes and my concealer game. I have really dry under eyes, even with eye cream. They're just super dry. And I find that this adds this beautiful level of hydration, smoothing, and ever so slight tackiness to my under eyes, where my concealer just goes on so much better over the top of it, but also wears so much longer over the top of it because of that ever so soft tackiness. And then also it just looks more like hydrated throughout the day because of this. I love it. I will instantly repurchase it. If I was to lose it, like if it was to go poof out of my hands right now, I would literally run to the website and buy another one. I love this so much. I only got a small size or like a tester size of this particular primer. Actually, I feel like I got it with my Sephora points. Anyway, who cares? As soon as I've used this, I will instantly be purchasing the full size. I love it. This is the Guerlain Peru Gold 24K primer. I should also say, by the way, this look I have filmed, it is coming. It'll be the video after this one that's coming, and I use this primer in it if you want to see some of these products in action. I love this. It is it's not so smoothing in the sense of like it's pore filling like the Tarte pore filling primer, but it's just nice and smoothing. It gives you like a really nice blank canvas on the face. It's nice and hydrating, but it doesn't add too much hydration, particularly for me who has combination skin. And again, it has this very soft tack, not like Milk Hydro Grip tack, like just a soft tack to it where it just makes my foundation like stick to it and grip and wear really, like it extends the wear time of my foundation throughout the day. I really love this, and I will continue to repurchase it. I also want to give a shout out to the Milk Makeup Glow, is it Cloud Glow? Yeah, Cloud Glow primer. So this one's like a foam, and it's got turmeric in it, and that's kind of the smell that it has as well. So you can see I've used this in a lot of videos before. I love this. It's like, it has the most refreshing feeling to it, like the Chanel Water Fresh tint, if you know, you know. But it's also adding this really beautiful level of extra hydration to the skin, but because it's this foam watery type feeling, it just melts straight in. So again, it's not going to make your skin more oily or disrupt any of the foundational products you're going to put over the top of it. But then it also just, I don't know, it kind of like just plumps the skin in a way. I don't know, I can't articulate very well what this does. All I can tell you is that I really like it. I love using it. And whenever I use it, I'm very impressed with how my foundation looks and how my makeup wears throughout the day. So I will repurchase this personally. I really, really enjoy it. Like, I'm already down to here. That should tell you something. I've got a lot of primers. We're gonna talk about foundations. Now, foundations, there's been so many this year and I've really liked a lot of them. I'm gonna tell you my like top 4 like creme de la creme foundations that I've tried, and then I've got 3 that I just want to give honorable shout outs to because I also think they're good. But we're going to do the creme de la creme. So the top 4 creme de la creme in my mind. This one, and I'm sorry, I don't think you can get this in the US yet, but it is coming, and when I find it, I will tell you. I will link the Dior website, the US Dior website. Sorry, let me just say, if you click on a link down below, if it's in there, it will just it should take you hopefully to the right country's website for you, fingers crossed if I've done it right. So it'll take you to the US Dior one if you're in the US, and hopefully it's on there, but I'll let you know when it launches. For my AU and I think UK friends, it's already out. This is the new stick foundation from Dior and I can't get enough. I'm wearing it right now. I've done a full review of this particular product if you want to see it in action. I love it. I love it. It is so good. I have the shade 1N if you use me as a shade reference. It's a great shade match. It is blurring, which is surprising to me because it's also very hydrating. It's a medium coverage where you can strategically build it up to be almost full coverage, but I like it as a medium coverage. You could also only apply just a small amount and it's going to be light coverage. It's really quite emollient to the point where you could honestly even just like blend it out and just lightly kind of blend it out with your fingers if that's how you like to do it. That's not, I don't like to use my fingers on my face, but that's a personal preference thing. It's so thin on the skin, you don't feel like you're wearing foundation. It's not heavy at all. It doesn't settle in fine lines. It wears really, really well. I've worn this all day to work and everything. It doesn't break me out. I'm so impressed. And it's the first Dior foundation I've come across that I like. I love it. I also really love the new Tom Ford Architecture foundation. Now this isn't very, very expensive. I mean, they're all expensive, but this one is very, very expensive. This is 1.5 cream, great shade match. If you are looking for a full coverage or like solid medium coverage foundation that has a matte finish and that is going to just wear and last all day, this is for you. The thing that I love about this one though, again, so thin on the skin. You don't feel like you are wearing a heavy full coverage foundation. It really feels honestly like you're wearing nothing. Truly, it really does. It's also really nice and smoothing, and it's just, this is like if you want a more, I guess, I want to say glam foundation, but just one that really, this has the most coverage out of all of the foundations that I'm going to talk about. But I love that because it is also so thin that it's not going to look natural because it does have so much coverage, but it feels natural and it looks natural in the sense that it is so thin on the skin. And it's very long wearing, doesn't settle in fine lines or anything. I think if you have normal dry skin and you want to give it a go, maybe get a tester first, over hydrate the skin. But if you have combo oily skin especially, it's going to last so well on you. I know it's expensive. I'm not saying, actually, by the way, caveat, I'm not saying to go out and buy any of these things, okay? Only you can decide. Everyone's value of $1 is different. I'm just giving you my 2 little cents and talking about makeup, okay? And I'm just saying I love it. I regret nothing. Another stick foundation, the Ilia Skin Complexion. I have the shade 4N. My goodness. This was probably my favorite foundation that I had tried so far this year until I tried the Dior stick. Can't tell you just yet whether or not I did like the Dior or the Ilia more. I can't. The Dior is definitely, so this one's the Dior, this one's the Ilia. The Dior is definitely more hydrating than the Ilia and more emollient like, but the Ilia is still not drying. It's not. The Ilia is more blurring though. Both have very similar levels of coverage. Both wear very similar in the sense that they both feel really undetectable on the skin, and they don't feel heavy, and they don't settle in fine lines and stuff. So they're very, very similar products, except the Dior has more hydration to it. So maybe that's your answer. Maybe if you are oily skinned, you might like the Ilia more. And if you want something with more hydration, I don't find that this enhances my oils even with the hydration, but yeah, I'm also not the oiliest at the moment because it is our winter, so keep that in mind. And then if you're someone that wants a light coverage foundation with really a lot of hydration to it, the Le Beige's Healthy Glow foundation is the one for you. So this one is absolutely gorgeous. I really like this as well. It's completely different to the other three that I just mentioned. This one is a light coverage. I can build it up to be maybe slightly medium, but not really. It is a light coverage, very, very thin on the skin, but this one has a lot of hydration to it. So when I wear this one, it's like my skin looks like I've gotten a facial, and it's all like plumped up and juiced up from like all this good skincare. And I do find this wears really well. Now I need to set my face quite heavily, like I say heavily, not heavy with this in terms of product, but just like I really need to set my face when I use this because of that hydration. But if I set my face with my combo skin, I still find this wears really beautifully throughout the day and lasts a really long time. I think if you have normal dry skin, you'll just find like you could set or not set. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I just love the way that this is glowy, but not in a texturizing glow way, in a my skin is so healthy, I just like got injections of collagen to the face or something kind of glow, and very, very lightweight and thin on the skin. Again, it feels like you're wearing nothing, doesn't settle in fine lines, that kind of a thing. So maybe for your more like my skin but better type makeup wearers and that extra hydration and glow, this is the one for you. I want to give some honorable shout outs. These to me are great foundations, and I think if you pick them up, I don't think that you would be disappointed, but I do think that the first four are better. I do. Now this one is the Sisley Phyto Tint Perfection Foundation. Absolutely gorgeous, really, really nice. Was one of my faves until these other ones came along. Kind of like a soft, natural soft matte, but has a little bit more glow to it. So maybe if you find the Tom Ford too matte for you, you might find this one better for you. Has a little bit more hydration. It's just not as matte to it. It's not as lightweight feeling on the skin, still lightweight, but just not as much as the Tom Ford. Definitely medium to full coverage still, doesn't settle in fine lines, definitely wears beautifully, still an impeccable foundation, truly. Like I really do like this foundation, but I just do like this one a touch more is all. Same with the Christian Louboutin. This one is a great foundation. Now again, if you find the Tom Ford and the Sisley too matte for you, you might really like this one, because this one, they call it, is it like a glowy matte or something? I can't remember the full description, but it's definitely got a lot more glow to it and is more of a natural finish than the other two. Medium coverage, you can build it up, you can sheer it out, that kind of a thing, so it's quite versatile. This is a beautiful foundation. It really, really is. I really quite like it. The shade's a touch too deep for me, so I probably don't reach for it as much, and that's probably one of the reasons why, but I do like it. And randomly, just a shout out, I really love mixing this one with the Kylie Cosmetics. I don't know what it is about these two formulas. The Kylie is like a blurring, medium coverage, natural finish foundation. And when I mix these two together, it creates one of the best foundations I've ever tried in my life. Truly, it's flawless, especially if you want something more full coverage. But yeah, these two together are great. Now, should you have to buy two foundations for that? No, this is just an honorable shout out for that concoction, because why not? But I do think that this is beautiful, and I think if you're looking for something that's not as hydrating as the Le Beiges, but something not as matte as the Sisley and the Tom Ford, this is a really good option for you. We are moving on to color correctors. The Rare Beauty Eye Brightener, I picked this up because of Nikki LaRose. I picked up the shade Light, and I really, really love this. I don't like it on its own. It's not enough like coverage for me on its own, but I really like this mixed with my shades of color corrector that are a bit deeper. So I have like the Givenchy Peach color corrector, for example, and it's too too peach for my under eyes. So I mix this in with it and it creates a really beautiful like color correcting peach shade for me. And then that becomes like this perfect formula. So I love this as a mixing one. This is actually nearly finished and I'll instantly repurchase this as well because I like having this a part of my collection for my under eye correctors to mix in. The Chanel Rose color corrector I really like as well. Quite similar to the Rare Beauty in the sense I love mixing it with my deeper color correctors. I find because I'm quite pale, a lot of peach color correctors or a lot of color correctors can be too deep for my under eyes, but then the lighter ones are too light because of the tone of my under eyes. So that's why I personally find mixing is where I get this perfect shade. And that's what the Chanel does as well. Like on its own, it's just a little bit too light, but mixed in with others, it's great. I can use the Chanel one on its own though, and it's got a nice level of coverage to it. So I don't need to mix it if I don't want to. Concealers, my gosh, there has been some phenomenal concealers released this year. My lordy. I'm impressed, or even not, maybe not released this year, but I've tried this year for the first time and I'm just so impressed. The first one being the Chanel Sublimage Concealer. You guys have been telling me for a while to try this, and I know Khaki Reviews Beauty loves this. This is the shade 10 right here. This is so good. So good. And I know even from me trying it, so many of you have also tried it and like messaged me to say how much you absolutely love it, and I'm so glad. It's expensive. It's like, I don't know what it is in US, but it's like 145 or 150 Australian, but this will last you forever. Like it is, you need the smallest amount of product even to get like a full coverage. You just need a small amount, so it's going to last you a really long time. But it's this beautiful formula where it's buildable coverage, so you can do really thin layers of it and it will get up to that full coverage. It's hydrating without being greasy. So you know some concealers can be too hydrating and they kind of like move around and they sit in the fine lines and stuff. So this doesn't do that. It's just a nice plumping hydration. It's smooth. It wears beautifully throughout the day. Wow, like top 2 concealers in my collection. I have the Chanel mixed with this concealer on my under eyes right now. This is the Rephr concealer. I have the shade 3, so just kind of like your standard doe foot. I love this concealer as well. I have seen mixed reviews on this. I don't know what is that's different for me. I really like this. It's not as hydrating as the Chanel, but it's still hydrating, like it's not drying in any way. You can build the coverage up with this one. I wouldn't say it's the most full coverage like the Urban Decay Quickies, for example, but you can get a solid, like almost full coverage from it. But I just find that this is smoothing, very thin, and wears really well throughout the day, especially when you do pair it with the under eye balm that it was like designed with. I really like this. I reach for it quite often and use it, like I usually use these two in conjunction at the moment together as well. I just think this is a beautiful concealer. I also really like the Fenty Beauty Wear Even Hydrating Concealers. I think these are phenomenal. Now they're a medium coverage. I would love a little bit more coverage to them, but I can put up with that because the way that these look on the eyes, like these are more hydrating than the other 2 concealers, but not to this point of like greasiness or setting in fine lines or anything. They just wear really well. Like they keep my under eyes like plumped and like fresh from the hydration, smoothing, like they're stunning. These are a really good concealer as well. Setting powders. These 2 setting powders are hands down the best setting powders I think I've ever tried. I absolutely love them. Yes, even over the ones that I already have in my collection. I love these setting powders. So the first one is the Face Atelier Glass Skin Water Powder. So I've raved about this for quite some time. It just looks like an average, like these just look like powders, right? Like in here. This one is one of those water powders, think like the old Becca Hydro Powder. I don't know what's different about this though, because not all water powders I have discovered are the same. This is, now if you're gonna try a water powder, there's a little learning curve. Do not use these with a brush personally, okay? If you use this with a brush, you're gonna hate it. Because what happens is when you pick the powder up and start to put it on the skin, it it literally almost like it goes to water. I know it's bizarre, but if you use a powder puff, pick product up and lightly just press it into your face all over, the way that this sets your face. Initially, when you push this all over the skin, it might make your skin look just slightly matte. But then as the skin warms up, it just gets to this just natural skin-like finish, like not glowy, I guess natural. Like it's not glowy, it's not matte. But the thing that I love about this the most is this is the only powder I have ever tried that makes my makeup, my complexion makeup look the same from when I've put it on in the morning to when I get home at night. I don't know what wizardry is in this bloody powder, but I'm telling you, like, I can put this on, go to work for 12 plus hours, come home, and it all looks the same. I will look rough everywhere else. Like my lipstick will be worn off, my eyeshadow is probably all smudged because I've touched, like rubbed my eye or something, and my complexion will just be like the same. I don't know what this is. I cannot recommend it enough. I love it, but just keep in mind, it is a slight learning curve. Do not use a brush in my opinion. Use a powder puff. And then next up, if you're just like, oh look, that just scares me too much, that's just a little bit too nerve-wracking, or I can't get face atelier, I got you. This isn't new, but this is the Chanel loose powder. Why don't more people rave about this still to this day? Why? This is the powder I'm wearing today. This is, again, it's magic in a tub. It is wonderful. This is, again, it's very similar where this will make my makeup last all day. This one does a slightly better job. This one will still do it though. And it is so thin on the skin. Like, again, I would recommend using, you can use a brush with this. I still recommend, it comes with a powder puff, and I recommend using that because of how thin and finely milled this powder is. I find when I use a brush, it kind of just like still goes everywhere. So just to keep the powder contained, I like to use it with the powder puff, and you just like press it in, sets, blurs, so thin, like it doesn't make your, like, you know, look cakey or anything like that, and it just wears. Like, I don't touch up throughout the day or anything like that. Once I've done my makeup in the morning, that's it. However it turns out at the end of the day is how it turns out. Again, my makeup will look flawless. This is so good. Like, why are more people still not talking about this? Because it is so good, truly. Now we're going to move on to the bronzer section, or bronzer portion of the video. I told you we're going to be here for a while. I'm gonna have fun editing this, not. Cream bronzers first. I have tried that many bronzers this year. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This cream bronzer, this product doesn't get any hype. I don't know why, because it's awesome. Like, I've hit pan on this product. This is the KVD Good Apple Bronzer Duo. So I have the shade Light, and individually these look like weird shades, but then when you swatch them out, I'm actually going to create a playlist for you guys as well, sorry, in the description box, where I've got videos of me using all of these products, because to me, like, for me to sit here and just like swatch everything and it's going to be like 3 hours long. So if you want to see particular products, there's going to be a playlist down below, okay? Or you can even go on my page and type in the product in the search box on my page, and it will bring up the videos where I've used them. This is flawless. This, if you like the KVD Good Apple Balm Foundation, you will love this product. It is very thin, emollient, a little bit goes a long way. You can really custom match whatever shade you're looking for to create this. It's very soft and thin and blurring on the skin, long wearing. I absolutely love it. Like, again, I will repurchase this. I think this is great, and I don't get why it doesn't get any more hype. I really don't. I mean, the Dior Contour Bronzer has definitely won me over. This is probably my favorite product I've tried. This is the one I'm wearing today as well. I love this. Like, if you are my skin tone in particular, you will love this. I can't speak of the other ones. I haven't tried them. I'm not a makeup artist in that, you know, I've only can do my own skin tone, but a little bit goes a long way. It's expensive, but a little bit of this goes a long way. So it'll last you a really, really long time. And even if you accidentally use too much of the product, like I do every time, it just blends out so smoothly and easily on the skin. So it's really beginner friendly, absolutely gorgeous, feels so luxe. The packaging is divine. I love everything about it. If the Dior one is just too pricey for you or not for you, the new Tom, I keep calling this Tom Ford, it's Too Faced. The new Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, I think it's called, Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick. My gosh, what a mouthful. Very similar, truly. Really, really a similar product. Smells like chocolate, so if you don't like that, you won't like it. I actually really like smell. It smells like an M&M or a Smartie or something. But very, very similar. I do prefer the Dior one. The Dior one's just a little bit more blurring, but this one is still a really good option, and it's going to be more affordable than the Dior. And I do think it's, yeah, I do think this is a great option. I really enjoy it, and I would have been hyping this up like way more if it wasn't for the fact that I tried this recently, because I do like the Dior more, but this is still a really solid product and I really enjoy it. If you are someone that's like, I want something that's contouring and sculpting, but I don't want to get like the Dior or the Too Faced sticks because they're just a little bit too intense for me, or the KVD because they're a little bit too pigmented, sorry, for me, you will really like the Danessa Myricks bronzing. Is this a bronzing balm? Is that what it's called? It doesn't actually have its name on here. I think it's like the bronzing balm. Anyway, this is, sorry, or the sculpting balm or something, contour balm. But basically this is like it's a contour, because you can even see from that shade, right? But it's very, very sheer on the skin, and it's quite hydrating as well. So, you know, like the Mario Skin Enhancer, I think it is, or the Skin Sculptor, like that cream kind of bronzer that he has that's not the stick. It's similar to that, but it has more pigment to it, but it's a lot more of a sheer soft product than the stick products or the KVD. So if you're looking for something that's got more hydration to it and is a lot softer, you might want to go for this one. I really like this as well. I think it's a great option. You know, I like to have options and I think it's wonderful. If you're just looking for an actual cream bronzer, the Rephr cream bronzer is phenomenal. Really, really good. I have the shade Dune, and it's quite interesting because when you swatch it, you kind of go, well, for me anyway, I don't like anything too emollient. It can turn very quickly for me if it's too emollient on my skin. But this one actually, it blends out quite emollient, and then it sets into this beautiful, soft, blurred finish. It's not drying, it's just soft and blurred. It's also not too intense of a product, so very beginner friendly. All of these products that I've mentioned so far, to be honest, I think are beginner friendly in terms of bronzers, but very more like, you know, just that very casual fuss-free makeup wearer. You don't want anything too intense, just super easy. This is for you. This is actually, I really like this. I think it's a great product. Powder bronzers. I'm only going to mention two because I have tried a heap that I really like. I really have. Shout out to the Hourglass bronzer. Wonderful. I tried that for the first time this year. The Westman Atelier bronzer. First time I tried it this year. Wonderful. I think I may have tried the Tom Ford bronzer for the first time this year. I think maybe last year. Anyway, I love that. But this bronzer takes the cake. If I had to give up on my powder bronzers, truly I could and just keep this. I'm not going to. I'll fight you for them. But this product is... I'm obsessed. I love this product. I cannot stop raving about it. It is phenomenal. If you can get your hands on it, run, don't walk, okay? And it is the Lancome Tint Idole bronzer. I have the shade Too Light. It's the perfect shade for me. It's what I'm wearing today. Makes me angry. It's so good. It is velvet, silky smoothness. I love it. It is so soft and blurring on the skin. It's buildable. It wears impeccably. This is a high-end luxury formula. Like, it is a whole other level of just perfection in my personal opinion. And like I said, run, don't walk. Very close second to that. And this would be the bronzer that I would be saying the exact same things about, like run, don't walk. This is amazing. And I still agree, but I do like the Lancome more. But the YSL All Hours bronzer is also phenomenal. Such a close formula. Such a close formula to the Lancome, but this one is not as creamy. It's not as creamy velvety. Beautiful shade, blendable, blurring, smoothness, goodness. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend. Let's do highlighters. I haven't really tried any. I'm sure I'm forgetting some products, by the way, guys. I'm sorry if I am, but the only cream highlighters I have tried this year, but these would be in my faves regardless of how many I tried, is the Lowlighters from Danessa Myricks. So I have a full review of these on my channel, and I was gifted these from Bodazzles, so not Danessa Myricks, but a retailer here in Australia. And I got all 4 shades, so if you want to see all 4 shades in action, there is a review on the channel. These 2 are like my highlighter actual shades. The other ones are 2 like bronzing shades for me. And I love these. It's actually the cream highlighter I'm wearing today underneath my powder one. And the thing that I love about these is that if you just want a soft highlighter with no texture enhancing or anything like that, this is for you. I know a lot of people haven't super loved them, but I just think they're quite a unique product, especially for maybe people with mature skin, oily skin, because it has that upslate technology, or just want a very soft highlight, like that low light look. These are the ones that you want to have a look at. They're really good, and they're multi-use. Like, I've even worn this on the eyes a few times and it doesn't like crease or anything. It's really, really lovely. Listen. Just like the bronzer, the Lancome Tint Idol highlight, oh, flawless. Powder highlight I'm wearing today, I can't stop wearing it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is like a satin silk type formula, and it's like as close a formula as you can pretty much get, I think, to a liquid highlight in a compact. Now, you won't be able to build this up to be a super blinding highlight, so if you want that like seen from space type highlight, it's probably not for you. But if you want something that's not really texture enhancing, it's very natural and soft, this is for you. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It is so good. I do want to give an honorable shout out though to the Fenty Demi Glow highlighters. I actually think that these are beautiful as well. A little bit drier on this, like, of a formula, not in a bad way, just the other one's quite creamy. And this one you will be able to build up to be a lot more blinding than the Lancome, but you can also wear this really quite naturally as well, and it's really not texture enhancing or anything like that. I mean, a little bit, like a highlight is still gonna, you know, enhance texture just slightly, but it's very minimal. And yeah, you can wear this really natural or build it up. So yeah, I really like the Demi Glow. Two products that kind of like don't fit in a specific category that I do want to shout out as faves. One is the Chanel Le Beige's Healthy Glow sun-kissed powder. I have light coral, and I really like this because it's so multi-use. So you get, I have a review as well of this on my channel, but you get the highlight, the bronze, and the blush. And because the pan's so big, you can use this really, like these 3 shades really individually, or you can mix them together and create this kind of like sunburnt-y type bronzer shade, or you know, you can just mix and match. So I really, really like this product for its versatility, how you can use it in different ways. Kind of good for travel as well, because like you have, you know, your 3 cheap products all in one compact. I'm going away shortly to Bali, and this will probably be the product that I'll just take with me for all 3 of those products just to save space. So yeah, I really, really like this, and it's so nice and like ethereal on the skin. And then this one is the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. So it does have your eye shadows in here as well, but I really particularly, especially for this video, want to shout out the bronzer and the blush formula here. It's a shame that there's only one shade range for this palette, because this isn't going to suit every skin tone, but these are new formulas, and she needs to release these in singles and expand the range, because they are flawless. These powder bronzers and these powder blushes are incredible. Blurring, soft, natural, lovely, like truly a lovely, easy to use formula. So I actually still really, really love this palette. I think it's great. I can see how it's not for everyone, but I still really like it. Now for the blushes, I have quite a few blushes too. I have quite a few of everything. Listen, my top powder, we're gonna do powder blush before we do liquid blush, okay? My top powder blush pick, I've been saying it multiple times in multiple videos, is these REM blushes. I'm actually got both of these shades mixed together as my blush today. This is a high-end luxury formula. It kind of feels, actually, this blush formula actually feels very similar to the Lancome bronzer formula. And I will actually shout out the REM bronzer. The new powder bronzer is very similar it's like a mix between the YSL and the Lancome. It's actually really a lovely bronzer. I just don't have the right shade for me, so I haven't used it enough to call it a fave. But these I love. I can see myself continuously picking up more and more shades from these. One of my favorite blush formulas in my entire collection, even out of all my other blushes, truly. These are stunning and really quite affordable. I really think these are so severely underrated for the formula. They are amazing. I want to give an honorable shout out because I know this was limited edition to the Chanel Le Beige's Healthy Glow Winter Blush, because this is like such a stunning little frostbitten like glow to the cheeks. It's gorgeous, really nice and buildable, and it's not glowy, it's just plumping, I guess. And it really does look like you've been out in the snow all day and you get that like little frostbite kind of pink tint to your cheeks. It's adorable. I really love that. If you can still get your hands on it and you don't, I highly recommend. And then I'll just give an honorable shout out to the Hourglass blush as well. It's the first time I've tried an Hourglass blush, and this is also gorgeous. I reach for this quite a lot. I think it's really quite smoothing and silky on the skin, and the thing that I love about all three of those powder blush formulas is that they're nice and buildable, so you don't risk that clown look. You know what I'm talking about. My number one pick for cream blushes is the Glaminatrix cheek and lip tints. These are phenomenal. I have every single shade. I have raved and raved and raved about these because they do not get the hype they deserve. I'm wearing actually Petal and Gentle mixed together. I like to mix a few shades together with these. They're so natural, so thin on the skin, very long wearing, really buildable. So they're like the Rare Beauty Liquid Pinch Blush formula, but not as pigmented. So they're not intimidating to use, but they are stunning. Absolutely stunning and flawless on the skin. The shade range is brilliant. I love them. I love them. These are such an incredible formula. Another one that doesn't get talked about, the KVD Good Apple Blush Duo. I really like this. It is so nice, and I love mixing these two shades together. So you've got them like individually, and then when you mix them together, they also create like just a really nice shade as well. It looks quite intimidating here, but I use a sponge to apply it, and again, it's like really blurring and thin, but very long wearing on the skin. I don't know. They don't get the hype, but they should, because they're a flawless formula, truly. The Tom Ford cream blush, I mean, gorgeous. This is such a beautiful cream blush. It is limited edition. I think it's all done and dusted in Australia. Sorry, but oh, I just hit kind of a weird pan on here. But you can get this in the US off the Tom Ford website directly. And it is gorgeous, really buildable, wears lovely. All of these cream blushes that I'm talking about, by the way, go really well over powder. That's how I apply them. Stunning, absolutely stunning, but massive con because there's only this one shade. But it is gorgeous. Shout out to the Armani Luminous Silk blushes. I really like these. So we finally got them in Australia. I got Rosy Peach. I haven't stopped using it really since I picked it up. It's really nice. I like the way it goes on the skin. Definitely has that luminous silk like hydration to it, but it's just really pretty on the skin. I really like it. I also want to pick up a bit of a pinkier one for it just because I can't help myself. But I've really liked the formula. It's really impressed me. Less pigmented than the Glaminatrix like cheek tints, for example. So if you're someone that wants like a really soft, like no makeup vibe, or just like a softer blush cream vibe than like say this one or like your rare ones, then this is a good option. Okay, I could keep going, but we'll just stop it there. I have tried some new setting sprays this year outside of my Charlotte Tilbury. I know, controversial, and I really like these. The Danessa Myricks Oil Control Setting Spray and the Faves. Same but different. Same in the sense that these set my makeup flawlessly like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Like, you know, that's been my holy grail. These set my makeup just like that, like flawlessly. However, if I'm having an oily skin day, or it's summer, for example, then I'm going to go for my Danessa Myrix, because this does not make my skin too, you know, some setting sprays, it can give you too much hydration to the skin, especially if you're combo oily, but you still want to like set it all down. So this is going to, like it says, control your oil while also really setting in the makeup beautifully and extending the wear time. Whereas this one, because I'm in winter right now, is flawless, because this one is really, really hydrating. So if you have dry skin especially, you are gonna love this because it is super hydrating and plumping. But again, it still really extends the wear time of my makeup. And the smell, I say it all the time, you guys are sick of it. I don't know what she's done with this smell. Can anyone tell me what the notes of this smell are? Because I can't find it. It's the best smell. I love this. I say it every time I use it, the smell of this. But it is also a really, really good setting spray as well. If you have oily skin though, just stay away. It's gonna be too hydrating for you, trust me. We're on a time crunch now because my battery is about to die. So let's bang out eyeliners, brows, mascara, and lip products and stuff. Let's do eyeliners, because the only ones, I'm gonna shout out 2 different kinds, but the main ones are the Bobbi Brown eyeliners in Fog and Khaki. I mean, I've raved and raved and raved and raved about these. They're so good. Fog is the grayish one and Jungle is the greeny one. I think I called it Khaki. It's Jungle. And then also Contour Clair from Chanel in the Stylo. I have Contour Clair on my lower waterline and Jungle on my top waterline. Great for sensitive eyes. I have really sensitive eyes. I can wear these and be on the computer and stuff all day. They don't irritate my eyes. I just love how unique the Bobbi Brown shades are. I love this kind of like cool tone gray brown, and then the khaki green, and then this one I love like on the lower waterline to add a little bit of smokiness. So I don't want it to be like too bright, but I also don't like a super dark eyeliner on my lower waterline. And yeah, I also like smudging this one across my top lash line. So I really like them and highly recommend. Mascaras, the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash. Love, 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 love. This is like a thickening like volumizing, fluffed up lash. Semi-waterproof, so you'd need to take it off with an oil cleanser at the end of the day, but it doesn't flake and it wears a really long time, and it's like falsies in a tube. And then I really like the Rephr. I know people don't like the wand. I'm wearing the Rephr today. So this wand, I know people feel funny about it. I think I just have really small eyes or something, because I actually find this one really good for my eye shape, and I can like really get in there and lift them up. This is like a nice everyday mascara. I find it kind of just like really goes up and doesn't give me spider legs or anything, and a really good mascara for the lower lash line. And a shout out to my Swede Cloud mascara. This one is also a falsie thickening type mascara. Like if you want falsies in a tube, then these are the 2 you want to go for. I still love all of the other ones that I've mentioned previously, like the Ruban and the Victoria Beckham and all that kind of stuff, but these are new ones that I've tried. Listen, if you take any brow suggestions away from today, let it be the Urban Decay. I've talked about these before. So one is the Big Bush in Cool Cookie. Big Bush, yeah. I just realized. So it's kind of like the Benefit Gimme Brow, I guess, if you will. Again, I have this through my brow right now, as well as the Slick. These are the best brow gels. Like they are so, so good. This will fluff your brows up and hold them all day. And then this is like a nice thickening, kind of like volumizing tinted brow gel. I absolutely love these. These are like a run, don't walk situation for me. I will give honorable shout out. The REM Clear Brow Gel is also phenomenal, and it has this kind of like funky little applicator on the end of it, where it's got the spiky brush on one side and then it has the clear, so you can like kind of flatten the brows up if you want, or kind of, you know, brush them up. And I also really like this. It does a really good job of holding the brows, as well as the Rephr Sculpt. So this one will go on your brows and it will kind of be white initially. So just make sure you don't have too much product on the brush, or like you don't want to go over your brows a heap with this one. You kind of just want to like do the one swipe through and then it will dry clear. But this is also like glue for the brows. It's really quite good. And then I really like the Rephr Brow Pomade. So it has like the brush on this side. Again, this one's in my brows right now. And then you've got the brow pomade on the other side, and I just find this really quick and easy. It's not an intensely pigmented pomade like the ABH one, so I just find it's like a really nice, it's almost like, I really like the Sigma brow powder, for example, whereas this one's just a nice option for to that one, in the sense of it kind of does the same thing. It's kind of as quick and easy to use, but it's just in the one like little tube, and it has like the pomade. I like it. I will repurchase this too. I really do enjoy it. This Sigma eye primer has become my favorite eye primer I've got. It really has. I love it. You can get different shades of it as well. It is so good. It is like smoothing on the lid. It doesn't like, I think if you have really dry lids, you might not like this as much, but I have dry lids and I don't find it drying at all on them. If you have oily lids, that would be good too, but it's just, it really does extend the wear time of my eyeshadow, and it makes them blend out really easily. Really underrated. I say it all the time. Sigma makeup products in general, highly underrated. Really good. All right, we have lip products left. So lip liners, Rephr lip sculpts. I have Taupe and Fawn. I love these so much. I love that they have, well, I love the shades, I love the ease of use, but I also love the gel, the clear gel that's on the other side of these, because it really does lock in and set this liner down and extend the wear time. It still adds nice hydration to the lips, but it literally doesn't change the finish. So it doesn't make your lips more matte, it doesn't make them more glossy, it literally just seals the product in. Flawless. I love these. I get another product I pick more shades up of. So good. The Glaminatrix lip liners are so good. They're really nice and creamy and like highly pigmented. Definitely a kind of opaque lip liner in the sense that they're really not going to budge, and they really are like, you know, some lip liners aren't super opaque. These are like Lisa Eldridge opaque. Really nice though on the lips, and really long wearing. Speaking of Lisa Eldridge, her new lip sculpt pencils I love, especially the shade like 1N is the one that I have, and I think that's what's so good about these, is that the shade range is just like a whole heap of browns, and I really like this. This is probably one I go to quite often just because it's the kind of shade that's going to go with like every lipstick. And the Kosas lip liners. This is a hydrating lip liner and not as opaque as the others, or like intensely opaque, but this one's beautiful, especially if you want something a little bit more hydrating of a lip liner. I really like this. I like the shade 100 specifically because it matches my lips really well, so I can kind of just put this on with anything because it's just like my lip color. But yeah, I really like it. But the Kosas ones aren't going to be as long wearing as say the Glaminatrix or the Rephr or even the Lisa Eldridge one, but I still really like them, and I really like the shade range of them. There's a few shades I have my eyes on. All right, lipsticks. Let's get the really obvious lipstick out of the way first, shall we? Westman Atelier. You guys, I'm obsessed. How many videos of mine have you watched where I'm like, no, seriously, run, don't walk? I have the shade PK on today. PK is my personal fave. I just love these so much. I've got my mum onto them. My mum's obsessed. Her favorite is this one, which is Rue. They're stunning. I would love to pick up every shade, but I'm not going to wear the rest of the shades outside of the ones that I have, so I'm not going to pick up any more unless she expands the shade range. But I've got PK, Rue, Lacquer, and Gerev. I love them. I love them. I love them. They are so comfortable. They are I don't know what she calls them. A suede. That's right. They're a suede because they're not a matte and they're not a satin. But they're not as hydrating as a satin, but they're nowhere near as drying as a matte. So they're quite long wearing, but not as long wearing as a matte. So you will need to reapply them throughout the day, but they're also really fuss free. Like you can just quickly swipe them on. You don't really need to worry about going all over your face or anything. I love them. I love everything about them. I know a lot of people don't like the packaging. I personally love the packaging. It's so luxe, and I love that it's in the same aesthetic as her brand. Like, honestly, cannot say enough good things about the Westman Atelier lipsticks. I also love the new satin lipsticks from Rabanne. I picked up the shade 3 Hang Up, and this one's quite often in my handbag because it's like It's a fuss-free satin, almost lip balmish type lipstick. Yeah, lip balmish type lipstick. A lot more long wearing than like a lip balm, but absolutely gorgeous. Also wouldn't mind more shades. And the Glamonatrix lipsticks, they don't get any hype, and I don't get it because they are awesome. They're like, I don't know what I would describe these as a formula. Almost like the Westman Atelier formula, but more hydrating. So not a satin, not a matte, not as suede as the Westman Atelier, but very intensely pigmented and absolutely beautiful. So I have all 3 shades, and I'll put on the screen what their names are because I can't read them right now. But yeah, these are gorgeous, and they're very, very long wearing. I really like how thin this packaging is. It's just nice and easy to like throw in your bag, and they're fuss free. You will need a lip liner with them, I think, but absolutely gorgeous. I really think that these lipsticks are highly underrated. I also just want to give a shout out to Queen Musia in Becky Sharp. I also wear this quite often. I really love this shade. I think it's absolutely stunning. It's just a really like everyday, goes with anything type color, and again, very long wearing, more hydrating. It's not a full satin, but it's more of a satin than the Westman and the Glamonatrix. Very comfortable in the lips, but still quite long wearing, and I really, really like it. Home stretch on the Faves. Glosses. Rephr in taupe specifically. I do want other shades, but I love a metal applicator. I have really come to learn this about myself, but also look at this shade. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? I love this. I'm going to apply it now. It is beautiful. This one usually lives in my handbag, if I'm honest, because it's kind of one of those shades that just looks awesome and is really, really hydrating as well. So it has this like nice brownie tint, but very hydrating. So I usually keep it in my bag. I really love the Dior Lip Maximizer, in specific the shade 038. I think it's rose beige or something like that. This is a Blair recommendation, more pigmented than the Rephr, but absolutely gorgeous. I actually like this one with the Charlotte Tilbury Love Trap lip liner, which is a shout out to actually the shade of the Charlotte Tilbury Love Trap lip liner. I like to put the lip liner Love Trap all over my lips and then put the maximizer over the top. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear banging and stuff. My husband's just got home. Lastly, a huge shout out to the Fenty lip oil. I can't wait till they bring out more shades of this. I say it all the time because this is like absolutely gorgeous. I really would like this in the like milky creamy colors because this is truly a very, very hydrating, nourishing lip oil, but it has that like gloss look to it and I love it. So I want more shades, you know? So that is all of my favorites. I know I'm already like, my voice box is tired, I can assure you. I want to quickly go through some regrets with you guys. These are all products I've picked up myself, and they might not be bad. I might not even think they're terribly performing or anything. It's just they're products that I personally regret picking up for one reason or another. And I say regret and not like this is the worst makeup, because honestly, sometimes like someone's, like even Morgan Turner, for example, I was watching her like worst makeup of the year so far, and there was a, like, I think she put like quite a few of the products that are my favorites in there. So they're not terrible makeup products. I don't like to call them these are the worst makeup products because chances are someone will actually really like them. It's just that I regret picking them up for one reason or another for me. So let's talk about, first up, this one was really disappointing. This is the Westman Atelier mascara. I got this set on her website recently on sale. So I got this and 3 of the iPods. So like these 3 iPods, which I love, and an eyeliner for like 50 Australian dollars. Like it was a really good price. And the other products I really like. like really like, but this sucks. This flakes so bad. Like I even used this on my mum yesterday and I hadn't even finished doing her makeup and this was already flaking. So this is literally just going straight in the bin after this video. It sucks. I don't recommend it. I don't know if this is just old or something, but I don't like it. Oh, actually, speaking of something else I really don't like, the Natasha Denona Golden Glimmer Gloss. Look, this is my own fault because I knew that this was plumping. I didn't realize it was spicy plumping, but it has that real plumping, you know, some of the plumping glosses have that real like chemical smell to it and it's not a good one at all. It has that like spicy chemical smell. It burns and I don't like how chunky the glitter is in this gloss. It hurts my lips. Like it's, you know, like the Fenty lip oil has glitter in it, but you can't feel the glitter at all. Whereas this one, you just feel like the glitter is like cutting your lips. I don't know if I got a bad one or what, but I don't like it at all. Speaking of another pumping gloss or plumping gloss that has that smell, exact same smell and like burn as what the Natasha Denona does. I'd take this one over the Natasha because this Gucci one, by the way, this is Gucci. At least it doesn't have the glitter in it, but this sucks. This is not a great product. Like, I'm sorry if you love it, I'm sorry. But it's just also for the cost of it and like Gucci, it's like the doe foot is really flimsy. Like it's pretty to look at, but yeah, this is not a good product. At least in my opinion. Maybe you like it. I picked up the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Dark Spots Concealer because Teresa is Dead loves it. And I need to really learn that I love Teresa is Dead. I think she's amazing. I love her. But her makeup preferences quite often are completely opposite to mine and I really need to learn that lesson. So she loves this. I hate it. I actually really dislike it. It doesn't do anything. It's not any form of like buildable coverage. I find it like settles in my lines awkwardly and then wears away. And so I just get darkness all through the day. It does not cover the dark spots for me, at least. I really, really dislike it. And I've tried mixing it with other concealers and everything. I mean, if you are not new around here, you know how hard I try and work to make my products work for me. It's a no. It's a no. This one I really like for a different purpose, but I regret picking it up, or I don't regret picking it up. I was gonna try it anyway, but I wouldn't re-pick it up because of how expensive it is and for what I use it for. So this is the Sisley concealer. I got the shade 1, which is the lightest shade. And I love the applicator. It's got the little metal thing, but this is too dark for me as a concealer. It's too dark and too peachy, and it's like noticeable on the under eyes. I also don't like this as a concealer formula because it's like drying and it's so thin. It just kind of like melts into, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't wear really nicely as a concealer. However, this is a color corrector, especially mixed with my Rare Beauty eye brightener, is wonderful. And I think it's amazing. So will I use this up completely? You bet your bottom dollar, because I think it was like 170 Australian dollars. Yeah, I'm ridiculous. So because I paid that for it, I will use this entire thing up. But I would never recommend to anyone to pick this up for what I use it for, unless you are really rich and want a lovely color corrector, then go for it. But I think there's cheaper, better ones on the market that are, you know, you don't need to spend $170 for it, that's for sure. This Chanel Healthy Glow Le Beiges powder. I just can't get it to work for me. You know what I haven't done is try mixing this with my Pat McGrath Labs Under Eye Blurring Powder, which seems to be making all the powders I don't like, that are like similar to this, work really well, but it's like it's too thin. You know, if you have dry skin, I'm sure you love this, because it is so thin and barely there that if that's what you're looking for, you're probably gonna really, really appreciate this. But if you are not new around here, you know that that's not my vibe. So I'm sure I could use it as a finishing powder, but I don't really use a finishing powder, but shall we give it a go? I'm just gonna take my Sonia G Smooth Buffer while we're here and let's give it a go as like a, I guess, a touch-up powder. I've never tried it like this to see if I can get some use out of it because I can't take it back. I mean, that looks kind of nice, but it still hasn't really set much, has it? Yeah, This is a skip to me. I think, like I said though, if you have dry skin and want a barely there powder, then that's probably for you, but it's a skip, and I regret it because I kind of thought that was going to be the case. And I saw that one before I saw the loose powder, and I didn't know the loose powder existed. So I thought that was like one of the only powders from Chanel, and I was like, I really want to try a powder from Chanel. Should have done better due diligence, because I kind of suspected when I was picking it, I was like, I don't think this is going to be for me. Speaking of which, the Natasha Denona High Glam Powder Foundation, I had a feeling this wasn't going to be for me as well. And I picked it up anyway, and yeah, it's not for me. It is not for me. It's too hydrating for me. So it doesn't wear well. It really settles in fine lines. It really tends to get cakey quite quickly because of how hydrating it is on my combination skin. Again, if you have dry skin, I'm sure you love this, but for me and my combination skin, it's an absolute, it's a no. Yeah, I can't even really, I haven't been able to find a way yet to make this work. So I'll keep you posted if I do, because again, I can't take it back. I got it from Beautylish. So, you know, we're in it for the long haul, but yeah, it's too hydrating of a powder for me, and it gets too cakey and settles in fine lines. And I kind of thought it was going to do that based on the description, and I had this gut feeling and I went against it. So trust your instincts, people. I mean, was I always going to get it to test for the channel? Yes. But, you know, speaking of things that we get to test for the channel, now I say this is a regret, but we tasked me, if you were on the live, it was a live with Blair where we talked about these, and I was tasked for science to try this because I'm someone who knew I would not like this. And so I was tasked for science to try it for all of us. It was the Rare Beauty powder blushes. I got the shade Hope. These are so not for me. And so when it's just, let me tell you why it's not for me. This is not a powder blush in my opinion. I mean, I understand for some people it is, but look how metallic that is. That's a highlight. That's a metallic highlight. That's an absolute no. So I do not like a metallic-y type blush in any way. Like in any way. It is way too texture enhancing for me. It's an absolute no. It just looks awful on me. And the reason why everyone tasked me for science to try this was because at the time everyone was raving about how amazing these blushes were. And I kept saying like, yeah, but like how texturizing are they? Like how texturizing are they? And so we all tasked me to do it. And I did it and I hate it. Hate it. I wish that she brought out a set of matte ones along with this. I totally get that this will be for some people, but I am not a metallic blush person and I really do not like it. I will give this to my auntie when she comes over from New Zealand next, because she will absolutely love that, but for me it's an absolute no. Another product that I was like, you know, you're not going to be super phased by this, but I picked it up anyway because I'm a sucker for packaging. This is the Christian Dior, what is it called? Forever Natural Bronze Glow. It's like this cute little adorable one that has the little stripe, and like I absolutely love it for the packaging. Like regret nothing for that, but like I didn't even like really the Dior Forever Bronzer. I was not fazed by it whatsoever. I know it's a lot of people's favorite, it just wasn't for me. So why did I pick this up again? Because it's not that this isn't a bad product. It's fine, but that's the problem, right? It's just fine, and I knew it was gonna be just fine. Why, Martina? Why do you do this to yourself for a pretty embossing? Like, come on, teens, come on. So look, well, I'll still use it and all that. It's not that like dramatic, but still, I knew better, and like I do regret buying it because I knew better and I just ignored myself on purpose. I enabled myself. It's fine. I did that with this product too, which is also a Dior product. This is their new blush and highlighters duos that they just released. Listen, you guys, I know so many of you can't wait to get your hands on this if you haven't already, but I just can't stress enough. I don't think it's worth it. I really, really don't. I have a review of these. While I think the stick products are amazing, I just think this is average. I really do. The highlighter, at least for this shade, I have Dior Riviera. It has glitter in it. So if you don't want a glitter highlight, don't pick this up. okay? It's fine glitter. It's not chunky glitter, but it's still glitter. And I just don't find this blush to be anything impressive. You have to like really dig your brush in too, by the way, to like get the pigment out, and it fades very quickly. So for the price point, it's so not for me, and I knew it was going to be the case. I just knew. I don't, like, honestly, the Dior foundation stick and the Dior contour stick are the first Dior complexion products I have liked. So I knew it's on me. I did it for review purposes, so it's fine, but I knew, you know? All right, you guys, I'm fairly certain I actually have a couple of other regrets that I've picked up through the year that I've already decluttered, and I can't remember what they are now, so that's fine. But, you know, that's not too bad considering how much makeup I've purchased. I have more amazing wins than I do disappointing, like, oh, I don't like this for me. So that's okay. I'm all right with the ratio of that. And like I said, I buy all this with my YouTube budget, so it's okay. And hopefully, you know, hopefully I can just help you in your purchasing choices, or I just give you some fun to watch, you know, either or, that's okay. Let me know, are any of my faves your faves, or do you have any regrets like me? Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you just love everything you get, right? 'Cause that's the main thing. But yeah, let me know some of your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you've made it this far, guess what? You have a surprise. You do. You have a surprise. I've lost my mind now. I've been filming for so long. I've got a little giveaway for you. So I got sent in PR. This was PR, so I'm doing it as a giveaway though. I got sent the new Soulmane 2 collection from Odin's Eye. So this is the Moonwish eyeshadow palette. It has not been touched by me. Here you go. This is what it looks like. And there is two highlighters and a blush here for you as well. I've opened them, but I haven't swatched these. And I'm just not going to use these. Like it's not my vibes. So I figured I would give this away to someone else who would absolutely love them. So there will be a link to a Google form in the description box to apply. If you are a channel member and you, sorry, let me start that again. If you are a channel member and you register, or like you apply for the giveaway, you will automatically get 2 entries. So 1 entry per person, but if you're a member, you'll automatically get 2 as a special thank you for being a member. All the terms and conditions and everything will be in the description box and the details or whatever. And I would recommend, up to you, not putting it in the comments that there is a giveaway, because it's for the people that made it to the end, the legends that made it to the end, you know? But it's up to you. All right, yeah. That's it. If you made it this far, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And thank you, extra special shout out to my Lily absolute legends. Thank you, as well as all of my other members, for supporting my channel. It really does help. And if you want to join the membership, there is a join now button, and there's 3 different tiers, and there's lots of different content on there. Yeah, okay. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye!